Just kidding. Anyway, we are here. It is Chichesi and Tefiti. Wait, how did my name work in this thing?
That sounds right, Tefiti.
Tefiti. We were just watching Moana, and I was reminded about what a good job the voice actress for Moana did. That was a really, really fun movie, based in large part on her performance. I thought that was cool.
I've actually never seen it, so I'm just smiling.
Yikes. That's all I gotta say. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna disable notifications. Hey, can you hear that helicopter?
I sure can.
Yeah.
What's going on?
We live near a place where that happens a lot. Okay, good. All right, so we're on and everything, and everybody is relatively secure, I think.
Excellent.
Okay. Anyway.
We good?
Yeah, I think so. All right, so let's jump into it. We have, ooh, look at that. Forgot I did that. We have a poll for what page? Where was it?
Oh, I don't even have that document open. What am I doing? Oh my goodness.
Oh, Jesse. Baltic Avenue, as we call you.
Oh no.
Tell Will, he'll get that.
Yeah, was that what you guys were joking about before?
Honestly, I couldn't say. I really couldn't say. So.
Mm-hmm. So, did we have it in the preposition, or was it actually in the verb section? Because this is where we were talking about. Sort of locative constructions. Oh, it should be page 17. Actually.
17. Okay, good. I'm almost there. Yeah. Here we go. How do I get rid of this blue bubble? Okay, good. Yeah. So I hate to disappoint you on his dark materials, but if I were to have been contacted about that to do work on it, it would have already happened. Unless, I don't know, it's only going to become relevant in later seasons. That would be nice, but I haven't heard anything thus far.
Also, I need to change my view to live chat, make sure I see everything. Okay, so on to our poll. We were voting between
yes.
us, and z.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got to say, this was insane because I normally go in at 3:30 to calculate polls, and then I check again. We had a last-minute voter that changed the results.
Wow.
And so, as of 3:30, the winner, it was never going to be that one it stayed low.
Yeah.
But Z and Us were very close. Us was the winner as of 3:30.
Ooh, in
3:45, Z was the winner.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So this is how important those multiple votes are, because we had a voter swoop in at the last second who had 3 votes and completely shifted the entire thing.
Extraordinary. Well,
it was so exciting. I think that was like one of the most excited I've been calculating polls. I was like, this is amazing.
It may have been Mateus. He said that he voted late.
It was Mateus.
Yeah.
If he wants to, since he threw that out there. Yes, Mateus. You were the winning votes for Z, and I have to say I was very excited because I secretly wanted that one.
All right.
And so Mateus swooped in, and what is grammar? Mateus?
So
grammar is grammar.
There's a wonderful sketch by the state about it's set up like it's a real serious debate, and they brought in all of these different people, different luminaries, famous artists, famous historians, famous professors and everything. So you have this panel of 6 people, and he goes, "Tonight we pose the question, what is art. And you see them all sitting there thinking. And then one of them says, you mean like paintings and stuff? He says, you're right, goodbye. And then it ends.
Done. So should we just say, you mean like nouns and stuff? That's all grammar is.
Yep. Oh yeah, flee, that's right. It's
It was, yes, Z was indeed from flee. And I think that's why I wanted it, because that just tickles me.
Z flee. All right, so I did want to talk about one issue that was raised in the comments, though, which was a very, very good issue. That was somewhat ancillary to the main issue. It was an epiphenomenon of the fact that I happened to choose grass for this thing. I could have chosen, on the ground, and that it would have been the same question. But the grass, the impression I gave was that I was talking about very, very tall grass as opposed to very, very small grass. I really was talking about any flat surface because you can use in for flat surfaces, right? It's just, we use in for states like trouble or love. No reason you necessarily need to do that, you just do. But I forget exactly who was commenting, so if you were there, speak up. But they mentioned that it might be very interesting for something specifically like, larger grass to use something like among, especially when it was used in the plural or, in the case with grass, like the mass form of it. And you would essentially be saying something like among or between the grass leaves. And I think that that is very interesting, and I don't think that the decision of this poll precludes that in the future. This was really just asking, what are we doing about, I guess, pertingent surfaces? Yeah. And so...
you use that word, and I love that you have all the fancy words like pertingent.
Pertingent. But yeah. Well, evidently 98% of them with, where is it? It was just nearby. Asyndetic and syndetic. Come on, I still don't know what
that was. But I'm even looking it up in the dictionary. Pertingent is not in the dictionary even. So
it's what it's called for a case. And in fact, there was a case like this in the language that we studied from Sudan and South Sudan, Moro, or Theto Gavala. There was a case like this. There were actually two inessive cases. One was a prefix and one was a suffix, and it had to do with whether you could see it or not. It gave the example of, like, if you're in a room, you use one of them, whereas, like, if you're in the bed of a flatbed pickup, you use the other one.
Okay.
Because you're in it, but you can still see them.
Right.
Anyway, so that one... The one that was ano. I'm trying to think of a noun that makes sense with it. All I can think of are words like, woman, man, boy, camel. What was the word for? We never learned the word for house. Clothes. That's all I can do. So like reth was clothes. Indreth was in the clothes. Ndrethano was in the clothes, but you can still see him. So it's like one would be, buried in clothes, and the other one was like you're in the clothes, but maybe standing out of them. And then there was Ndrethanano. And that one, it was a true pertingent case. So it was used to mean like on something, like the book is on the table. But it was also used if it was like a sticker on the wall. Mm-hmm. And really the most important part, it didn't have anything to do with gravity. It had to do with if it was touching, and kind of sticking to it. And so that's where I learned the word pertingent. And every so often I'm reminded of it because it's in the great big list of cases on Wikipedia where it's like one language does this one thing one time, and so we need a word for it.
That's amazing. I had never used or heard of that before, so that was kind of exciting. I also like, by the way, how I say Wikipedia, and I love that you say Wikipedia.
Do you... Okay, let's say that you had a radio station called Jack and then F and then M. If you were to say it all together, would you say Jack FM or Jack FM?
I would say Jack FM.
Thank you. What about Pokemon or Pokemon?
I say Pokemon.
I'll accept that.
Okay.
It drove me nuts how on the show, the English voice actors would say Pokemon.
I'm like whispering it to myself. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I always say Pokemon with a E. Pokemon. Oh, yeah, Pokemon sounds wrong. Okay. Pokemon. Yes.
Yeah.
I say it some way. And yeah, so it was Mike Katalinich was the one who had made the comment on Patreon about potentially using some sort of oos for different kinds of grass or the plural.
Yeah.
And then Zach is showing me his Pokemon.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. But they say Pokemon on the show, especially Ash in particular. Ash in particular, at least the original voice actor, always said Pokemon. Yeah, it was,
One year for Halloween, Will went as Ash Ketchum.
Yeah. Nice. Did he have a Pokemon?
Yeah, well, I mean, like one of the little balls that he carried around through the house, and then we had the little characters that were in the Pokeball.
Let's see.
Pertangent.
So in or on a large.
Is it superessive or suppressive? Is there an E in there?
There is, and it's one of the many case names where there is some confusion because of certain of the terms being used in other ways. So, for example, if you have superessive, then of course the other version or the motion version would be superlative, right?
Okay.
And then you kind of have to use that sometimes in certain languages, even when they also have a superlative for adjectives. You just kind of have to roll with it. Anyway, so, okay, wait. What am I doing? All right, we got that. And then, so we should go back to the area where we were, the entire reason that this came up. Huh. Why did this come up? Something where this was relevant? Why did this come up?
I don't know if my internet would be today. All I heard was we're doing. I think it was a question though.
Uh-oh. It says our live stream is offline. Jesse?
I'm here. I see you here, but like on YouTube I'm all slow and I look robot-y.
It says our live stream is offline.
Oh no.
Hey everybody. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I that was obviously me. I mean, if the live stream was interrupted, it was obviously me, not you.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Okay, so back to what I was talking about, which is what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, the question I had is, we obviously came up with this example, with the prepositional example, for some reason. It's like we were doing something and that became relevant. I'm trying to figure out what that was.
Right, because we were talking about copular constructions.
Is that what it was?
And yeah, so we had done like the rabbit is a mother, is not a mother, sassafras is a tree, etc. So we had done all that, and then the question was, what happens when we have some sort of prepositional?
And look, we put us there, and it should be z now. Got it. Okay, yeah. When a logic was called for, Engel uses the verb kalo. Kalo imezi edulu. Kakalo imezi edulu. Good. All right. One uses standard negation.
And we did, we did the be a rabbit and don't be a rabbit, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. And then we're holding on to these because they're good words and we want to use them somehow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because they did not quite make it on a poll, but we liked them.
Yeah. By the way, Mike Catalinich says that it's not a great connection. Is it still? I mean, it looks fine to me. Is it just the audio?
I am refreshing. Okay, so yeah, mine looked really bad until I refreshed the screen. Like I had to refresh the YouTube website, and now the video looks super clear. So I think, goodness only knows.
Alrai.
Isn't it pronounced awry?
No. He said he thought it was pronounced Alrai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see why now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, okay. All right. So
Yay.
then, okay. So what this means is that we've finished copula, right? That was it.
Yes.
Okay. So the copula is done.
We actually,
negation is done.
I think we were darn close to being done with that part of the verb section. I think scrolling down, we still have participles, adverbs, and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think the actual verb section, I think that was wrapping it up.
Okay, good. Let's leave adverbs aside for the moment, and since we're there, let's talk about participles and relative clauses at the same time, because I have a feeling we're going to need to. So, what was I going to say? I don't know how you do this. Right. So the whole idea with adjectives is that it would be a small clause. So do we have, hammy means to be fluffy. So let's start up here. I'm just going to make some notes up here. There is this. We didn't do that, did we? The rabbit ate no grass.
Oh. No.
Where was our demonstrative?
Where? Oh, there it is. The demonstrative is way up on the, I think, page like 13 or somewhere around there.
Okay, I have an idea that I want to float that we can't do.
Page 14, we have our demonstratives.
I have an idea that I want to float, and but we can't necessarily do it yet.
I'm so excited.
So these would be actual adjectives, not demonstratives. You might not be on the page I'm on. So you're waiting for me to say something. I'm on page 19.
Oh,
sorry.
No, so I was watching the YouTube playback. So I was watching that screen because I was holding my place with the demonstratives to make sure. So I see the not one and not any.
Yeah, so that was my idea. Do you like my idea? Okay.
I feel we did almost just have a conversation about the nicht and kein and how languages a lot of times have some sort of negation plus pronoun type thing.
Oh yeah, that kind apparently comes from not any.
Yeah, see, you taught me that. That's what I was just thinking.
I did?
Yeah.
When?
When I read something you had written.
Oh! I did! Oh, I forgot. Okay, sorry, I forget things sometimes. Alright. Okay, so, anyway, so the rabbit ate no grass, right? So, okay, so let's leave that aside. Alright, yeah, so for participles, moving aside from that, because it distracted me, the idea is that when you say something like, Imehami, right? It's a small clause. So this is the... Is it fluffy or furry? Is hammy fluffy or furry? Anybody remember?
I believe it's fluffy, but I'm going to check. It is fluffy.
Okay, the fluffy rabbit. All right. So if we have the fluffy rabbit, the idea is that it's a small clause version of the rabbit that was fluffy. And it's a basic version that would have occurred before we even had the aspect. And so the question is, if we have, okay, give me some sort of an intransitive verb that is not stative, and then a very obviously transitive verb.
Okay, so one that we've already created?
Yeah.
Gotcha. By the way, I think this is where having the English dictionary actually comes in handy. We have to wait. Do you like that one?
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, so hima, Khima, is to wait.
Got it.
We do have to twitch. Chessie.
No, let's get a transitive one now.
All right. Let's see. We have to see. Oh, we have to sit. I forgot about that one. We have reading. We do not have a lot of verbs entered on this part. I may have to find another place. Is to hop. Most of them are intransitive. Oh, to evaluate.
That's right. That was built off of something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
What is that one?
Kayalu. So Kaya accent mark Lu.
Okay. So we're looking for.
I'll let you know if I.
So we got things that we need. The rabbit who is waiting. The rabbit who waited. The rabbit who. Let's do them all. Is being evaluated. The rabbit who was evaluated. And the rabbit who is evaluating the grass. And the rabbit who evaluated the grass. And I will get that. Okay.
I was just getting ready to delete that.
Yeah. Don't you worry. Don't you worry,
got it.
sassafras. Uh-oh, that's not good. Meridian, honey. Oh. Can you close the door? Yeah. Natalie! Yeah. Hold on a sec. I got to send a text-based message to my sister. Yeah. Close the door to the garage. Hopefully that's clear.
Is there a pool noodle stuck there today? Is it going to shoot out?
Yeah, that one. Okay, she's got it. Okay. Now, how do I make this go again? The what should? Hold on. I'm going to do it this way. Okay, there it is. Okay.
I didn't even know something stopped.
Okay. All right. So here's the simple way, that like the small clause way of doing this. All right, and we're just going to do it, and then we're going to see if we like it. So the rabbit who is waiting. Oh, wait, it's not going. Why isn't it going? The whole point of this thing was to. Oh my goodness. Wait. Hold on. Everybody stop, because my personal technology isn't working. All right.
I'm holding.
There we go. Now you're moving. Okay. Let's separate this, and we'll do it up here. Okay. So this is. All right. The rabbit. That's actually not right. Don't worry. Okay. And then what is it? Chirima? Is it with a r or with a ch?
Way at the
Chirima?
beginning? Oh, you mean whenever it's reduplicated?
Yeah.
It's a r in the middle.
That's tough to say. Chirima. It gets easier. All right. The rabbit who is waiting. The rabbit who is being evaluated. That's going to need to be the rabbit who was evaluated. And now for the rabbit who is being evaluated. That would be, come on, Ime kakayalu. How are we doing that stress in the reduplicated one?
That is a wonderful question, because it looks like stress for the most part stays where you would expect it to on all of our other examples. But with this one being on the second... okay. So yes, because in imes, which means to smell, and the stress is on the second syllable.
Yeah.
Whenever it is reduplicated, it stays on the imesmes.
Good. Okay. Excellent. All right. The rabbit who is being evaluated. And then the rabbit who evaluated the grass. If you're wondering why I'm copying and pasting, there isn't a good reason. There really isn't. Okay, who is evaluating the grass?
Sometimes it's just what feels good.
Edulu. Let's do that. And let's move this there. Ime kayalu. Okay, so this is the most basic version, and this is somewhat reminiscent of another language I did where there is no there's no ergative marker anywhere here, even though these two are ergative.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not there because it essentially doesn't need to be.
And then these are essentially just non-inflected verb forms?
They are, aren't they? They need to be inflected, don't they? That's what the difference is between a small clause and an actually inflected clause. However, only these two would be inflected, right? What's the plural? What's the third person plural?
For
Verbs.
for the grass?
No, for verbs.
But to agree with the grass is where my head was. Third person plural is going to be sus at the end, and it actually gets the stress. So sas, himasas.
And it's always
is the example.
Yeah.
And yeah, it always gets the stress, even in the reduplicated forms. Oh, just 1 second.
The fox is here? Is the fox here?
No, Chris was making sure that the meatloaf was finished that I had made for him and Will.
Because you got to tell me if the fox is here.
I can't see. I'm in the wrong part of the house. The fox keeps visiting the backyard.
You'll need to pick up your entire computer if that's the camera you're using. Yeah.
No, I normally use my phone to take the pictures of the fox, but...
No, I mean to show everybody.
I'm not entirely sure I can do that because this is a desktop.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to...
If I try to run away, it's going to come unplugged, and then it won't show anyone anything.
Well, that's what extension cords are for. I mean, we need to live stream this fox.
It is rather exciting.
It's a real fox. A family of foxes. Little
It
foxen.
is. Yes, in our backyard. And now they come back regularly. And so it's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so this, I think it works. I just don't know if it's.
That is one heck of a long word.
Yeah, it is.
Sus.
Me kakayalo sas. Kakayalo sas.
Okay, well, it sounds better when you say it. I needed you to say it.
Yeah, you just gotta pretend like, I don't know. You just gotta pretend like it's a word like exhibitionist.
Okay, but I do have to pause for a second because Evan said foxling in all caps, and I do need to ask, is there going to be a fox language?
I mean, not for the initial version, but I mean, of course, there's gonna be foxes.
For the expansion pack, right?
Yeah, of
We need
course.
fox language.
No,
Okay.
of course. My goodness. And then there will also be, certainly there will be foxes in the multi-species pirate crew
Obviously.
uh,
They have to.
that will have their own Creole language. Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
All right.
Okay, but back to the rabbits that are being fluffy.
Yeah. So the only reason that something like this wouldn't work, ignoring these for the time being, is if we were going to routinely have a distinction between non-stative verbs that also have a separate adjectival form.
Okay. And it's still, there wouldn't be any marking on this, even though the rabbit, someone is evaluating the rabbit.
Yeah, because it's agreeing with this. It's just third person singular.
And that's the base form. Of course it is. Of
Yeah.
course it is. Oh my gosh. I was thinking there was an A at the end. But that's only when the verb ends in an A. Never mind. Oh my goodness.
You know what might help, because we haven't, these are softball ones right here. We might need to do something like this. The rabbit, what was I writing? Batter? The rabbit I saw. That's Lucy. No, wait. Let's use the same verb. Rabbit I evaluated. So, me, kaya. No, wait. Kaya. What? Loose?
Oh, just a second. But first person singular personal pronoun is un.
Then un. Why do I keep mixing those up?
I don't know.
I keep mixing.
There actually is no us. That's one of our prepositions.
Yeah, I know. I said the exact same thing last time. You can roll back the tape to last week. I know I did. I mixed it up that time too. Okay.
Well, it's probably because second person singular is is. So we've got un, we've got is, and we also have that separate preposition us. We've just got all sorts of things.
But of course, that's not even appropriate.
But that's the full pronoun.
Yeah, it should be like this.
Do you want it to... Okay, does this agree with first person then here? That would be Shimon.
No, it doesn't. Hold on a sec. And then the rabbit who evaluated me. Now we're doing it.
That would actually be... It would end with un.
Yes. I'm sorry. Okay. A rabbit who evaluated me. Okay, so look at the bottom two. That's...
Okay, now I got to get back to the right page. I was down in the charts. Okay, I'm back. The bottom two. The rabbit I evaluated. Okay. Okay. And that because this is our ergative marker.
Yeah.
So that's that clitic, and it's a clitic because it follows the vowel.
And it shows
This
up,
is-
it has to show up because there actually is an argument there. Whereas here, the argument is in the gap.
Mhm.
Now, something that we could do for these is say that in order for it to work, there has to be an ergative there, and so you'd have a copy pronoun. So that's kind of like option B. Would be what is the pronoun for rabbit animates?
One moment. Rabbit animate is may.
Of course. Why did I?
I know I should have known that too.
Yeah. So
That happens.
in the parentheses, I am not doing this to say it's optional. I'm saying that we could make it so that essentially the only role that we allow to relativize off of is the absolutive. And so anytime you have it co-occur, or this thing is in the ergative, it has to be presented. So here it's obvious why it is, because no, but that's actually the absolutive. And then this one, it would have to be, again, another option. And it's not a relative pronoun. It's just a basic pronoun. But what it's saying is that this language doesn't like relative clauses to be built off anything except for absolutive arguments. I will get to that question in a moment. Just give me a minute to think through this.
It's these little things. These are mind-bendy when you start doing the relative clause or anything that gets embedded like this.
Oh, that's because there's an N there.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is the rabbit who evaluated me, and this one, the rabbit that he evaluated me. If we're talking about, a rabbit that identifies that way, the rabbit, that they evaluated me. I always imagine Peter Rabbit. That's why. Now that's going to sound strange. A lot of languages that do this don't do it with subjects, but you have to remember that this is an this is an ergative argument, and so it's not actually basic. It's one step removed. Couple people speaking up in favor of mandatory inclusion. And then, of course, this would carry over because, where you draw this line, everything after it, gets it. So this would be the same thing would happen with our new preposition. So let's try to construct that phrase. It would be built off. Oh wait, are we already there? We were already there. Edulu, and then that kalo ime z, and I need an inanimate pronoun.
Inanimate pronoun, tu.
You know what? I need the plural. I'm sorry. What was I thinking?
Oh, that would be sas.
Right.
Because that would be
Sas.
third person plural across the board.
Yeah. Edulu kalo ime z has. Okay, so this is, I'm trying to say this as literally as possible. the grass that the rabbit was in it or on it. And this would be required, because if it was required up here, it was definitely required down here.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Maybe we can, maybe I should just type this in English. Okay.
Yeah, any sort of like simple glosses may help.
The rabbit that the rabbit that evaluated me.
So,
okay.
yeah.
And so then that is right. And then this one is the rabbit that, and let's stick with Peter Rabbit here so we don't get confused with singular and plural. The rabbit that he evaluated me. Rabbit evaluate for singular, interrogative, first, third. Darn it. Third singular, and obviously animate. Now this one over here is the grass that the rabbit was in it, or on it, whatever you prefer. Let's do it down here. Grass be at, it's a locative copula, and it's third singular because it's the rabbit that was doing the being on. And then this is our preposition on, and this is them. In fact, yeah, let's actually do that up here so it's easier. Because grass is plural, remember. Edulu is plural, and that's why this has to be them. Does that help?
Yes. Like that helps me, so I'm hoping it helps other people. And Mike asked, so for the rabbit that he evaluated me, yes, that means the same thing as the rabbit that evaluated me. These are two different strategies that we're trying to decide between. And so what David was saying is if we require the enme up here, we have to require the zisas down here. Like it would need to be consistent with how they're formed.
Yeah. If we're not going to do it here, but if you're ever curious, languages like Middle Egyptian have an entire series of pronouns that are just like they're for, they're from, they're at, and so on. And what they are is it's a special adverbial form of a preposition. And so in situations like this, you would actually turn it into the adverbial form. And it would be the grass that he was thereupon. And so it wouldn't require the copy pronoun, and it wouldn't strand a preposition, and wouldn't require the fronting of the preposition. So that's a clever strategy that you can use. But I think this makes more sense for what we're doing right here.
It seems so far people who are being vocal, they like the extra, the required in me.
Yeah. And just to be clear that we're talking about the same thing, Dark Horse, he, because this happens to be a he rabbit, not because that's what the pronoun means. Yes. Cool.
Okay. So
all right.
I think we're going to delete the top one to require the in me.
Yes. Let's just delete the parentheses.
And I feel like this is a big moment. And so I'm going for a snack.
Before me, this is a precedent. But you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. Copico. That's the slogan.
Cheers.
Oh my God, it happened again.
I'm still very slowly trying to open mine so that doesn't happen to me. Brush it off.
I'll just say it's a good thing that I only put paper in that trash can.
Okay. Managed to have that. I didn't drop it. Okay.
Maybe we should each just buy a tiny little pair of scissors.
Yep. Wesley just said, use scissors.
It seems so silly because we're so small.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Dark Horse wants to know, what would the grass that hid the rabbit look like? Very tall grass.
Right, because we have a word for hide now. However, we can't do that quite yet. Because that is something that I was going to, so what Pablo 360able is bringing up right now, that's something that has certainly been a concern of mine. I'm not going to do anything yet, but as we do more translations, I think it's going to become, and as we try to start speaking these, I think it's going to become obvious if that's going to be necessary or not. We will see. But definitely it's something that's on my mind. And I'm going to go ahead and...
In case anyone didn't see
write that down
comment,
as a note.
Pablo had specifically asked if Inme and Z-Sauce will end up glomming together over time. That was the particular comment.
And then I'm going to write etc. here because it's not just that one, obviously. It's all of them. I have to see how it interacts with the one that becomes just the consonant. Basically, we need to work with it more, and then we'll see if we do that. Definitely a possibility. So, back to Dark Horse's comment. We can't necessarily do the grass that hid the rabbit yet because hide is basically an intransitive verb. The one that is doing the hiding is the sole argument. And then you have like a locative compound if you want to hide. Not compound, what do you mean? Complement if you want to hide in something. To turn that into a transitive verb, where something is agentively hiding something else, we don't know how to do that yet. That's down the road. Anyway. Essentially we would, Isaac. The only problem with that is I don't know what to do because we already have the clitic, which is a clitic suffix. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to give it a shot, but it might not work out. Which is fine. Not everything has to glominate. Just, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Okay.
You just never know.
The grass that the rabbit is hiding in? Absolutely. Yeah. The grass that the rabbit is hiding in, that's pretty easy to do. Now that we know what we're doing. Edulu, and then is hiding in is going to be ninimhe. Ninimhe. That rabbit, ime. Well, now we have the, yeah.
Are you just remembering these things off the top of your head?
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen, I don't remember everything.
Still. I feel like I need to up my memory game.
So this is the grass is or was hiding the rabbit in them. And again, that's them because this is plural. So that's the grass that the rabbit was hiding in or is hiding in.
I like this. Are we summoning Biblaridian?
That's one time. Don't say it 2 more times. You know what'll happen.
I feel like I'm about ready to spin in my chair. I feel like that's unnecessary. Say the name, spin. Say it again. Spin again. Okay, so I like that. I think that's nice.
Oh, no. Now he's here. And now...
Okay, so the real question
legally,
is, Biblaridian, are you here the whole time and you're waiting for a mention to just be like, oh, look, I'm here? Or do you really get like some sort of a prickle along your spine that says, I must show up now. I need to understand how this works.
Oh, but Zeus is singular. I know, it's like legally if he makes a comment, we just have to give over the stream to him. I mean, we just try to get as much done until he gets here, and then it's done. It's over.
And then it's, here it goes.
That's good. They activated his trap card. Oh, the Bibble sense. Oh, that's good.
What is trap card?
It's from Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Ah. However, I will say Pablo 360able, I understand that one. Harry the Platypus, behold my latest invention, the Bibleridianator. That's a good one.
Do we have a word for time? Did we already do that? Did we do a word for time?
I don't think so.
Have you been watching Inspector Spacetime, Dark Horse? Not
we
where.
don't have a word for time.
When? Okay. All right. So let's do some. Let's do some relative clause examples then. Let's get that.
Oh, these aren't examples?
Well, we can paste them over here. All right. So, in Angela, relative clauses follow the nouns that they modify. There is no relative pronoun or relative, what do you call it if it's not a pronoun? Particle?
Relativizer?
Yeah. I mean, they could have just done that instead of saying there's no relative pronoun or relative particle. There's no relative pronoun or relative particle. Instead, a full clause follows the modified noun with a gap for the do I want co-referenced here? I want co-something, don't I?
But there's not a gap, though, if it's required, right?
You're getting ahead of things. We're getting there.
Okay. That's why I stared at you for a second. I was trying to figure out which part is being a gap.
Because technically there is a gap.
But only
for the yes. But back to this co-reference thing. Is it co-reference that I want?
Co-referent.
Co-referential?
Don't you just want co-referent?
I could do that. Do I also? And this is why I never use this anymore.
Or
I'm always
confused. Do you want to say co-referential argument?
That would also work. I also would love to use the target of relativization, but I don't know if the target of relativization refers to the thing that's being modified or the thing in the embedded relative clause. Do you happen to know?
Targeted relativization.
No. Target of relativization.
Oh my god, just a second. I have to think about how to spell relativization. Oh, look. Google says maybe you want to ask what is target of relativization. Thank you.
The gap is the thing being relativized. Thank you. Okay, so I'll remember that from now on. With a gap in the place of the target of relativization in the relative clause. However, see, this is where we're getting. This type.
Can you do however in all capitals?
Relative clause.
I felt like it needed it.
Can only be, maybe that's probably not the way. However, only absolutive arguments can be relativized in this way. That's probably a shorthand for something I should say. However, only when the target of relativization is an absolutive, plays the role of an absolutive argument in the relative clause can it be relativized this way. That's a shorthand.
Can be gapped.
Yeah. For all other arguments, a copy pronoun, not a relative pronoun,
also
occurs, yes, in the place
what page are you on?
where a gap would be.
Oh, right here.
20.
Okay, this needs to be There we go. There's a spelling error.
It's probably because I turned off spelling while typing. It happens sometimes. Also, remember my keyboard. It's wireless.
You try to blame that keyboard for everything, and then every time you try to show me that it's wonky, it works perfectly. So I think you look so defeated. You're like,
I mean, otherwise, it's a really nice keyboard. I love this keyboard. I mean, I'm an Apple guy all the way, but these Microsoft fellas, they know how to do keyboards, at least wireless keyboards. It's so lightweight.
Here's my cute little keyboard.
Ah, yes. I remember that one.
Okay.
Okay, here are some examples. Good. All right, so, all right, let's see. For subject, we don't need it to say subject. We need it to say absolutive. And yeah, that's fine. The rabbit who waited, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, this is for I know what this is for. This is for orthography. Remember when that was a thing? We'll get there. Let me just,
yes, we will. We're still planning that out, how that's going to work.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's put it in a whole sentence.
Do you want the rabbit to hop?
Hold on. Let's do, okay. I have a lot of animate things. What was our word for mother?
Oh, it was just 1 second. Just 1 second. And I almost remembered it off the top of my head because the plural is sada, so ada.
Ada, okay.
Let me double check. I am so correct. Yes, I remembered something.
Okay. Lucy.
I need to celebrate when that happens.
No, wait, that's what we're doing. Ada. And then the relative clause goes here. And then there'll be something like anime. Okay. And the sentence that we're doing is the mother. No, wait. Sorry. Don't know what I'm doing. The rabbit. Wait a minute.
Wait.
No.
The mother sees the rabbit.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Waited, right?
No, we need a different one. We need a different evaluated. Thank you.
So the mother evaluated the rabbit that waited?
Yeah, the mother evaluated the rabbit that waited. Wait, no. No. The other way around. The rabbit evaluated the mother that waited. Okay, right. Because it's the object. That's the agent.
Sure.
Okay. But now
stop and stare.
Well, it's...
Yeah, I see.
And of course, that's just phonology there. We might be able to make some sort of a fancy, very Chomskyan syntaxy X-bar argument that it's like, oh, since this is a part of a different clause, it doesn't reduce, but I don't want to do that.
I'm interested in seeing what happens when you're going to get to anime and something else.
What do you mean?
Back to backs. So what if it were?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see it. We're gonna get there. It'll show up.
Well, and that's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, Dark Horse had an interesting question. Can we make stuff like that relative clauses? I think maybe I need to read more comments.
Okay.
Make subordinating conjunctions introducing statement. Oh, like some sort of introductory clause marker, I believe is the question. Which some languages do have. It's just this one.
Anyway, let's at least do this so we know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let us forge ahead and just see what happens. Okay.
Kopiko disappears too quickly.
Oh, it's still going strong for me. Do you just have Kopiko Basic? Because I have Kopiko Extra. I don't. I wish I
guess
did.
I just have Basic. I don't know. It's whatever you sent me.
I know. But you know what I would love? Remember those old Jawbreakers? Just a huge sphere of Kopiko.
Forever.
Okay. The rabbit evaluated.
Although I don't think I'd be able to talk while having a jawbreaker at the old school large size.
Do we have another obviously transitive verb that's a basic transitive verb and not an experiencer verb? I don't want to do the rabbit evaluated the mother that evaluated me.
Why wouldn't you want to do that? That sounds so lovely. One moment, please. Again, we haven't entered all the verbs, so cry out, but that would not. Nope. Aww. Oh, I hear the end of your Kopiko.
It's still going. That was just part of it.
Every time I see a verb, I get excited, and then I realize it's the same verb. It's just evaluate, investigate, and assess all mean the same thing.
You can do this, right? Hop, twitch one's ears, sit, smell, lie down, assess, wait, see, to be sweet, to be hidden, to fall, to cry out. That's it. So let's go back to smell. Because I think that was an experiencer verb. Yeah, we need another honest to goodness transitive verb.
Wait, didn't we have like to touch the berries with whiskers? Didn't we have to touch with whiskers?
I guess we didn't enter it. Yeah.
Yes, ugon.
These things are going to get real big.
Because that we can use that.
We can. And the mother that.
So like somebody was evaluating the rabbit that touched the berries with whiskers. Something like that.
So is that correct, Ugonun?
Ugonun. That would be just 1 second.
Where's the one
that
ends in a
sounds
consonant?
Right. Get
Where's
back
the one
down to
ends
the
in a
verb
consonant?
charts. We also have eat if you want eat instead. I don't know why I forgot about eat.
We do have eat, but
oh wait, miscellaneous. Yes, you would just add un to the end.
And there wasn't any raising that happened with ugon, was there?
There can't be, can there?
That must have been ukaun. Did we? So we didn't add that to the dictionary. What's the protoform of ugon?
That is a great question. Mislane, there is raising. Or lowering, rather. Mislin becomes mislanun.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter what it was, because the only way that this thing is going to work is if the protoform was UK schwa UN. And so we'll just say that was it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any protoforms written down.
Okay.
Johan says it was UKAN.
Is that right? Hang on. Oh my goodness, you know what that means?
What does that mean? This is very exciting, though.
Yeah, there is lowering.
Okay.
So it's not ugonun, it's uganun. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We need to enter that into the dictionary so that we don't forget.
Me too. Are we doing anything special on verbs right now? No. Okay.
So I'm really sorry for this definition, but I wanted it to fit on one line.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my Father's Day was really good. Really good. Erin made me shrimp. And then I got, she also, as a surprise, ordered me pizza from Lou Malnati's, which is the one in Chicago. They will deliver pizzas to you, like in freeze-dried containers. And then Meridian and I had fun. It was good. Okay. So, I think we do have it.
I'm typing it right now.
Oh, you're adding it.
Although I can't remember what this was supposed to be for the
just
verbs.
a prefix UN. Prefix UN. However, this does raise an issue. This does raise an issue. And I will tell you why.
Okay.
There's nothing in here that tells you about the lowering.
No.
Theoretically, there could be another verb that has this, and there wouldn't be lowering.
Right.
Right? Let's actually...
I think so.
Let's take a look at and see what would happen.
Mike wants to know if ugon can become our verb for flirting.
Well, would you look at that? There is still lowering. Because it raises to u. So it doesn't become ugon, it becomes ugun. And then it lowers.
Interesting.
Okay, wait. Isaac is raising an issue, which, gosh, I really hope it's not the case. Hold on a sec.
Well, Johan says that ukan was actually
we had
suggestion back in the day.
We had ogun. Okay. Good. All right, we're fine. Yes, Isaac, you're confusing the verbs. There are two different verbs, to fall and then to brush with the whiskers. So we're okay. Yes. We are all set now. We have the verb entered, so we won't forget it. Though, of course, there isn't any verb in English that means to brush with whiskers, so we might forget it. Because there's always that problem, you know. If it exists, you better use it. Perhaps if we did make it as a synonym for to flirt, we would...
A what?
A synonym for to flirt. See, it was somebody else's suggestion. It wasn't mine.
No, I don't think you said synonym the first time.
What did I say?
I think there was another syllable in there.
How certain are you?
I think
Everybody
it was very
here?
close to cinnamon with another. It's good. See, okay, someone else, Ellis, heard a cinnamon.
It's not my day.
I just got excited.
Okay, so...
You can't drop words like pertingent and then, not expect me to be listening.
Synonym is the plural of synonym.
Of course.
Okay, so indirect object, we don't actually have... we haven't talked about this yet. We haven't done a verb for give, and so we haven't talked about if it's going to only co-occur with a preposition, or if there's going to be a double object construction. There very well could be where it would be the giver would still be done with a the preposition, but there would instead just be two objects in a row with, I'm guessing, the indirect object coming first?
Oh, shoot.
No, the direct object coming.
It would be second, right? She would still want the direct object first?
Well,
The
it depends. Gosh, we're gonna have
absolutive first?
We're gonna have to look up that argument, that article by Dreyer again. Here, let's just put a... We'll come back to that. Because this is very obvious and is going to cover most everything, including possession, because possession is done with let's take a look at what would happen with the inalienable. We'll start with this. So let's use.
All right, and I'm ready with some inalienable possessions. Jasmine to whisker me could equal to canoodle. That word always makes me giggle a little bit. Canoodle.
Okay, because that was the embedded one. So this is, no, we need grass. And there's not an obvious, yeah, sure, the grass evaluated me, who cares? No, wait, the rabbit evaluated the grass that was owned by the mother.
That was on?
Yeah, it's a verb.
Okay.
To on something.
Sure.
Okay, the rabbit evaluated the grass that the mother was on. Good. Good. Yes. Okay. Oodle canoodle. Alright. So, something that is inalienably possessed that we have a word for is an ear. So
We do, but that's not one of dog.
wait, we don't have a word for ear?
We do, but it wasn't on my list that I had so readily pulled up.
Oh.
And now I have to find ear. Okay, this is clearly, we have a lot of words that just are spelled with E-A-R in them. That is really unfortunate.
Okay, what about mouth? I didn't want...
now I'm here.
Okay.
Essie.
Oh, right, Essie, there we go.
Because we decided the whole
Right.
Essie thing.
Okay,
Yes.
so Essie May is the ear of the rabbit. The rabbit's ear is pretty. Something like that.
Hey!
Shh! I wasn't there!
Not at all. I was just yelling hey to the air.
Yeah, I forgot my power cord, so.
That's always very important.
Okay. Well, why not? It also, the rabbit evaluated the ear of the, well, it's, I don't want to say the rabbit evaluated, the ear of the mother. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, the rabbit evaluated the ear of the mother. The mother's ear that was fluffy. So that's the sentence. The rabbit evaluated the mother's ear that was fluffy. So, can we do that, or is it impossible?
Just a second, please. Wait, where's... Okay, so far we don't have hammy in there yet.
No. Here's the thing. It's going to go right here. But if you put that in between, suddenly the inalienable possession is broken up. So this cannot work.
That is no good.
Yeah, this cannot work.
And we couldn't... See, add a hammy would be weird, right?
It would be weird. Now, something that could rescue it, why would you underline? I didn't ask for that. Is this.
I knew it needed rescue.
Maybe. So in other words, now we actually have a copy pronoun, even though it's an absolutive argument, because this is co-referenced with this and could not be co-referenced with that.
Right.
This is, I don't know, I think this essentially represents a fundamental breakdown, though, of the relative clause structure.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Like, I almost want to say, like, that kind of structure, if that's the meaning you want, cannot be done through a relative clause, and it must be done through paratactic constructions. Like, kayalu esiada nime.
Right?
Hammy too.
Something like this?
It was fluffy. Except I feel like the nime needs to go before the and. Like,
probably it would, because a heavy shift.
Right. And so it would be like the rabbit evaluated the mother's ear and it was fluffy.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is, you can do this with alienable possession because there's a preposition there.
Right.
You just can't do it with this.
Yeah.
I think that the only reasonable way you could do it would be like this. And I'm gonna say this. I think you might be able to get away with this in speech if it's understood that that is a unit, and intonation can make it a unit. And this, I wouldn't say it's required, but I would say that there's a distinct possibility it could emerge. And the phenomena that I think this is most closely related to is how we do relative clauses that are separated. You know, the thing you're not supposed to do, right? Like, I'm trying to think, I went to the house. No, that's not even work. The house on the block that I told you about, that still works. That still works because it's just, It's just embedding along the way. Do you know the one I mean? Like, there's a word for it. Like not a dangling participle, but
A stranded preposition?
a stranded relative clause is what I'm thinking about.
Oh, okay.
Like
like a dangling modifier type situation. Is that
like it would be something like, you know, like that girl came who I told you about.
okay?
Where it's like,
Oh, right.
yeah.
Because it's like the girl came, and then that I told you about is separated.
Yeah, and it's like you're not
And
supposed
it
to do that.
technically shouldn't be, but
Right.
it totally happens.
They write pages about this, and you know, style guides, you know, and how you're not supposed to. But the truth is, we do it in speech. I have a feeling that if this bond is strong enough, not necessarily everything that's inalienably possessed will be, but if it is, you might be able to get away with it, and you might see this copy pronoun emerge. However, with this whole prepositional phrase here, I think you're absolutely right. The more that gets pushed to the end, the less likely it is, because it's just difficult.
Right.
Anyway, so I don't even really know what to do with this in our grammar. I mean, we've said it. It's on a live stream. We can come back and look at it later. But it doesn't feel like it really should be put here. Instead, we would just delete it and maybe make a note that maybe that's what we should do. Make a note up here. An inalienably possessed noun cannot be modified by a relative clause in, I guess, except perhaps in informal situations where the inalienably possessed noun and its possessor is treated as an I don't even want to say an unanalyzable unit, but what do I want to say? Just unit? I mean, it's always a unit, but
almost as like a compound, as a cohesive unit, as a
it's treated in a way. How about as a single nominal
constituent?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean,
Mike asked if we could promote the possessor, so like the rabbit evaluated the mother at her ear.
Trying to find that.
And then Chris asked, how would you distinguish the ear that was fluffy and the mother that was fluffy?
In what circumstance?
I'm guessing, but if it's hemi-2, the 2 would mean that the ear is what has to be fluffy, because
Yes.
that would be an inanimate, versus if it were the mother, then
Yeah.
would be the appropriate pronoun that would be following.
Yes. So that was why there was that copy pronoun that was thrown in there. That didn't need to be, but it was put in to make it clear what was the fluffy thing. However, if you were doing something else that was inalienable possessed, like the mother's daughter, for example,
Right.
then yes, it would be ambiguous, and it would just need context to determine what was what.
Sure.
But yeah, that's fine. After all, if there's no ambiguity, there's no humor. You know how much of our humor is derived from ambiguity? Like,
Every pun ever.
there was a joke about this on The Simpsons where the superintendent and Skinner are getting together and they're starting a comedy routine. It says, and you know, superintendent is like, it appears that I am putting together a baseball team, and I was wondering who is on first. And then Skinner says, yes, not the interrogative pronoun, but rather a player with the unlikely name of who. It's like, okay, well, that's the routine. You ruined it.
That just, the whole sketch is done at that point.
Yep.
I actually, in my office at school, have a glass with that entire routine printed on it, and it's my pencil.
The original one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Abbott and Costello one, not the
Simpsons one. So I was going to say, that wouldn't be a big mug.
It was. I
pretty
bought
cool.
it at the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Really?
In Cooperstown, yeah.
Huh. I guess if you were to buy that anywhere, that would make sense. Was that a cat or a child?
I think it was a cat, but I can't be sure.
Roman, my boy. Roman, don't be sad. Oh, he's coming to take a gander at Kitty. She's not in the mood for that, so. He really doesn't understand her. Like, even after all these years, he really doesn't understand her.
Okay, so are
Yeah.
you staring at the indirect object situation, or did you want to come back to that?
I'll tell you, I'm thinking about it, but to start things off, we don't even have a word for give. And then when it comes to a word for give, you could even sidestep this whole issue, because sometimes the word, it's not like actually a word like give, it's donate.
Right.
And so like the okay, so I guess donate would only take one direct object and it wouldn't take an indirect object, right? And then there's the opposite of that, give to, where the object is the recipient, and then you have to use some sort of extra phrase to specify the direct object. And, I'm not even sure which of those three we want to do, basic give, indirect object give, or direct object only give.
I'm leaning towards direct object only. We have some lovely prepositions that could be like toward or at somebody.
Yeah, I guess it really is, when you have this choice of verb, it's focusing on what you think is the most important part of the action. Direct object only tells you the most important part of the action is that something is moving. Something is moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next important thing is that somebody's causing that moving.
Right.
The least important part is where it's moving to. So that's that one. And whereas if we do it the other way, if you focus on like the recipient only, the most important part is that somebody's receiving something. And then the next most important part is that somebody's causing that to happen, and then the least important part is whatever is being received, the thing.
We have several people asking if this could be a poll.
That's not a bad idea, actually. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, it's very clear options that we could then later decide how that whatever option wins would end up being sussed out.
So we have basic give, recipient give, and object give. Okay. That's actually a really good idea. So we can do that and then just leave that for later.
Okay.
Yeah. And instead, we've got a half hour. I'm trying to think what would be a good half-hour project. Coordination, turning our attention to participles, or yes/no questions. What grabs you?
Yes/no questions.
Oh, really? You've been thinking about this.
I have not.
Subject.
We have clear guidelines. We do not think or
Has
work on the
been
language.
studied extensively by Professor Jesse Sassafras.
Sassafras, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, let's type up some examples. All right. Let's see. Verbs.
By the way, Mike also wanted to do yes/no questions.
You got it.
I just want to point that out.
Okay. Is the rabbit waiting? Or what are some other verbs that we have? Did you see
Is
me?
the rabbit hopping? Did you see
Yeah.
that? Is the mother whiskering the rabbit?
Oh man, that just sounds awful. I gotta do something. All right.
Did you want some more, or was that?
Is the rabbit on the grass? And then this is what I wanted. Are you a mother? Or famous book. Are you my mother?
Are you my mother?
Do we actually have possession for pronouns yet? Or we decided if we're going to do something separate or just do prepositions?
That's a really great question.
All right, let's just do are you a mother? Okay. All right, so this was a copula, and now maybe we'll throw in his potential areas of discussion negated. So like, are you not a mother, or you? The rabbit is waiting. Snoop. Indicating that we want one of those. That's enough for right now. Okay, so the rabbit is waiting. Very simple. Himaime. What were your thoughts on yes/no questions?
Well, my
The
first
rabbit
thought was
waited.
just a oh yes, that's
Yeah. Sorry.
title for the is waiting. My first thought was to have like some sort of pre-verbal particle, something like kind of just like a question particle that just gets thrown up front before the verb to say, hey, this is a question. That was a thought that I had.
Did you have a second thought, or should we talk about how to implement that?
So many thoughts.
Okay.
But another thought I had, honestly, I think I like the pre-verbal for this one.
Okay.
Just because of the structure, and because especially like as things get added, it's going to post-verbally get heavier. And so I like a pre-verbal slot here.
Okay. So what could that evolve from?
Something. Oh, I just saw. I'm trying to remember if we have words that would match this. Something like is it true, or
Yeah.
it is the case that, is it?
Yeah, that would
Something like that.
Something like is it would be really easy if we actually had a real copula, or I'm sorry,
Right.
not a real copula, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean.
But we don't. So like, for example, is it? We would just end up being it, yeah, which would
Right,
probably
right.
be to.
To be the inanimate basic form.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is saying yes, no, true. If not, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I really liked the idea of I wonder.
oh yeah, I saw that somewhere.
Might be a little
Too.
big.
Makes sense. Mike asked something based on like to see or seen.
Yeah, that's actually how I evolved the passive in Astapore Valerian. So the passive essentially became what, like, it was seen that.
Okay.
But yeah, C could work. The only reason I would shy away from it is because we've already used C as a preposition.
What if it were based on here? Because their ears would be such a big part.
That is an idea, isn't it? Here. What do we got for it? Do we have anything for it? We might not.
We may not have anything for it because nothing is immediately coming up.
Biblaridian, the original HV passive just died. Kind of like the original future tense in Latin. I just didn't like it.
We do not have...
Didn't use it.
We do not have to hear. So
Okay.
I feel like that would also be a great way to expand the language by one more word.
Yeah, how did we do C? It was the same as I, wasn't it? Or was it? No, that's that's a different language I'm thinking of. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, because wasn't it Lucy?
Yeah, it was Munjakin that I did for Emerald City. That's the one I was thinking of.
Great language, great language. And I know, and then Essie was the ear. I know. We still have a couple. I know most of the words, the bases that we had created, rather large words. We have Lolo and Haiga are both words that we need to incorporate at some point, so those are options.
Okay, let's say. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, it would be third person singular, right? Because here it, right? Oh, but it wouldn't, because hearing is an experiencer verb.
Yes.
And I think it should be second person. So you hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a sticky wicket, because we already have Ice and Wes, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Did you say a sticky wicket?
I did.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
If we did Lolo for to hear, it'd be Loles.
Would it?
Wouldn't it be like Ogo?
I forget. I feel like I went through and did this whole thing where I tried to determine, because this is just a copy vowel, if it was going to be different or not.
Oh, okay.
But I think that's right. I think it happened after the sound changes. This all happened after this. So Loles.
Because Lolo would come from a schwa u double combination. L schwa u is its root.
L schwa u Lolo. Yeah. But I think I think the idea is that the verb glomination happened after the sound changes, so it didn't matter, because it would just be whatever its history was. I was pretty sure that was why I felt confident doing that table. So it would become Loles, which would become Loles, Loyes, so on.
Right.
Lois. And I'm gonna say that's probably gonna become lice. Sorry.
That's beautiful. Why are you sorry?
I don't know.
Just made me laugh.
Okay, so this is where are we? Questions. So let's see how we like it. Ah!
And I don't think we've used Chali yet either, so Chali is another one.
It would be Charlie, and then that would become Chalias, right? Is that? Or wait, let's go take a look. Come here, little fella. Where are my
Chalice.
Chalice. So Lais, Chais, I think that's what they would both become. Because we don't have oi. As
did I miss a question?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Why I instead of oi? It's because we don't have oi.
Okay.
I think it would keep drifting. Lice. Yeah. It's, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of how Finnish speakers pronounce I in English. So it's it's never like my. It's my side.
Nice. Yeah.
It's very. It sounds difficult.
Okay, so do you like lice, hijimaime, or chase hiji? God, I can't say that.
Hihima.
Hijima. Ime?
Let's hihima.
Say it for me, please.
Let's hihima. And then chase hihima.
Would that S ever maybe become an H and then drop off altogether?
Now, are you asking that because the verb begins with a consonant?
It sounds like it could disappear and become just lai or chai.
Let's see. You still like it? Laogoime? Chayogoime?
I do.
Now, we haven't done that in this language where S aspirated.
Right. So that would not necessarily be an argument for it. I understand.
Yeah. Our S's seem to be kind of strong.
They do seem to be super codas, if you will.
Well, wait. Actually, hold on. Let's go back to our...
And Chris says, if we want to do that thing where the S is only there before a vowel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We've done that before.
Where is it? Show me Wes.
And also ice.
Yeah, here we go. Now, in this case, it wasn't that the S aspirated. It was more like the S was included because it started, it came before a vowel. So it's like we kept, it was more like the S was kept or inserted because it didn't need to be there, did it? At least for I, it didn't. It didn't need to be there. You know what?
I think so. Didn't it come from the second person form of ahe to ha?
I can't argue
which would have
against
been ahes.
I can't argue against it. Our previous decisions have overruled me. I think you're right.
Our previous decisions, though, would lead to laisogurime
Yes.
and laihivima.
Yes. That is exactly what tradition demands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So,
my goodness.
do we like lai or chai better?
I don't know. All I can say is that I just hope that Bibloradian isn't watching now. I hope he's already left.
I actually was just looking to see if I had seen any comments. Not since the High Valerian passive.
Yeah. Okay. So then we got,
seems that so far the popular opinion is that lie in Floridian sense is a disturbance in the morphology. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it seems that so far more votes have been for the lie and lice.
This is your...
In fact, I have not seen anybody, as far as I know, I haven't seen anyone say they like the chai thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that is going to mean that Lolo is going to end up meaning to hear?
Yes.
Huh. A little strange, isn't it?
Why is that strange?
Seems like a reduplication.
So do we not like that then?
Right.
I mean, we have other options too. I was just picking out some that would be shorter.
The imperfect would be lololo.
So maybe we shouldn't verb that one. You know, okay, so we have chali lasma. We could still, they turn out to be really long.
Hang
after words in idza.
I don't want to necessarily abandon it. It could be, here's my thought to try to rescue it. It could be the case that this was just here, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, now this just gets weird. And that, anyway, that it reduplicated on purpose for some reason. And then there was some sort of suppletive form for the imperfect. This is getting weird. But because it would also argue for this being it. So, and this became just this, right? And so this would actually, be le versus less.
Pablo had said maybe Lolo is reinterpreted as the reduplicated form and the base verb becomes lo. So a sort of back formation.
I suppose, yeah. And that would explain why it was lie versus lice. That is a way out of it. I don't know if it's necessarily the best way, but I think it absolutely does work. And so, because after all, you as improbable as it is, you could have, on the other hand, what would that become?
Sorry, anime fan just says it is the east and Jess is the sun.
Look at that.
I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up with what I'm looking at.
Right, sorry.
Okay. So because of Leola becomes Lolo.
It would, just by sound changes. And it would be indistinguishable from this. And so, I mean, that's a perfectly fine form. It would still give you Lolo. But I can see how if it just happened to sound like Lolo, speakers eventually reinterpreted it as the imperfective.
Right.
Making the perfect form of the verb now just lo. But the older form is this. And so it would still become lo-less. And it would still become lie versus lice. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of trying to rethink this and come up with another imperfect form for here, but I mean it's 350, so that's how decisions get made in the professional conlang world.
So are we good then for Lolo to be to hear?
Yes. However,
I'm
please,
gonna
please do list this as its
well,
protoform.
first I am getting it into the chart. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm coming down to the dictionary.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll have to ask you what to do on this one in a second. Okay, so what do I do in the verb entry on the dictionary? Because it's not going to take a reduplication.
No, the basic is
do
low.
I just enter low?
Yeah.
Yes, that's, and then Lolo becomes the other form.
Or a consonant. And how are we doing examples? Yeah. We don't need that.
Okay, I now have dictionary entries. I just realized though, I put Ugon in the Ingala side, but I didn't put anything on the English side.
Doesn't that mean to brush with whiskers?
Touch or brush with whiskers.
Yeah, it doesn't really have anything that corresponds closely to an English word, so I usually just skip that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you would put like touch C entry or something like that.
Ooh, that's very clever. I mean, sure.
Okay, here it goes.
And then, well, I guess we're going to need two different examples, aren't we? We've already made the rabbit fell.
Brush. Okay. Every once in a while, I have to like recite part of the alphabet to remember where things are alphabetized.
Oh boy, somebody's talking about pizza. Oh, that should be illegal. One pizza.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, let's not forget the idea about brushing with whiskers and flirting. I need to give that some more thought to think if that will be, flirting, or if it's just really more of a friendly gesture that, it could happen with anybody. Because, I mean, if you're a rabbit and you have the opportunity to nuzzle and, to brush people with your whiskers, I mean, you could do that all the time. It's on your face. I don't know. It might not be. It might not be a full court press there. I don't know. Okay, so then let's see if we can get to this. We might not be able to get to it. We might need to stop here. But the next thing that we need to discuss is oh, well, that's not where that thing's. Oh, that's just a. Oh, okay, hold on.
Formatting woes?
How dare you? That's not what I did, and you know it. There we go. All right. for copular constructions. Ngala.
Can we just do that again?
How big are these rabbits? I was thinking like between 3 and 4 feet.
That's what I thought you
is
had
that what you were
mentioned
thinking?
before.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hi, little boxes 27. Woo!
oh, hey. Sorry, I need to pull up an example of how we even did the rest of the
copula.
Copular
Oh, everybody
constructions.
loves a copula.
Okay. Oh, that is not. I need. So, okay, so I am a rabbit, or he is a rabbit. So let's do like, all right, so me. She or he is a rabbit.
How about no? Let's do first person singular, just so that it's something that is super inflecting.
Me.
Yeah, so it's something where it's like if there were a verb, it would absolutely 100% inflect. I want to do that. Okay, so just in case something weird happens and we end up using a verb. Okay. Unime. I am a rabbit. Am I a rabbit?
Would you not just do me?
Well, I mean, that's certainly... Yeah, I guess you're right, huh? Because of what it derived from. It's just you hear.
Right.
Or you heard, right? You heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean... Okay, I thought this was going to be a bigger deal than it was. I guess it wasn't.
Well, that's perfect, though. We need it to not be a big deal, because it is now 5:58.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay.
None of this 3:58 business. Is that a car alarm?
No, it was a beep beep beep. You know,
Oh, okay.
backing up FedEx.
Oh, gotcha.
Man, we are just name dropping so many products and corporations. They should all be giving us money. Okay. Okay, so let's take a quick gander at negation and see if that's going to change anything.
Negation, we have O and Oku.
This feels problematic. I'll tell you why. It's occupying the same slot. Wait. No, it came from fell, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could see maybe the two... Because it's a negative auxiliary. That's why. And you can't put a question on imperative, so that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. Oh. We stopped. Jesse, can you hear me?
Oh no, I can hear you, but is YouTube? I'm watching to see if YouTube catches up with us.
Did my thing just get used to us stopping streaming at this time?
Maybe. Matei says stopped ? I don't know. Everybody says good for me. I think we're fine. Fine on my end. So I think maybe you're just...
Oh. Huh.
We're good.
Oh, they mean they're fine in that they see us. I thought they were like, we're fine. You've done enough. Just go.
Go on.
Okay, well.
Okay, so
I hope that you're still hearing us and that we're still being recording. And I guess we'll just use it for negation. Does that sound fine? Or should we just wrap up? I don't know what to do. I'm so lost.
You just throw your hands up in the air. That's all you can do. The negation is actually a little bit more complicated, I think, because it actually turned the main verb into almost like a dependent clause, because it's not o kaubi edulu ni me, it's oime kaubi edulu. So it's like the rabbit is now an argument of the o, which is the negation.
Okay.
So like
Negated.
The rabbit fell eating grass.
Yes.
And so I think trying to decide where that question particle is going to fit, if you want to ask, did you hear the rabbit fell eating grass? I think it would have to be before it, right? Like it would have to be like, Laisoi me kaubi edulu. Like we would just, what do you, does this sound?
I'm saying I think that we should do this next week.
I think it sounds like a next week decision.
Yeah.
That definitely.
I definitely appreciate that, Pablo, but then you have all of them becoming, because it's a particle. I mean, it's not a particle, it's an auxiliary. I think we need to look at that and consider it. And so that is what we're going to do next week. So thank you so much for hanging out and suffering the internet hiccups.
Oh, yeah, there's only one hiccup. We're good. And it didn't totally kick us off. It was just a hiccup. I will say, though, that before next Thursday, it's an exciting time to be a patron, because on Wednesday everything's going to drop because it's the 1st.
Oh, so that's right. Yeah,
you get
that's
podcast. Right. You're going to get PDFs. You're going to get all the fun things. And so, just as a reminder to our patrons, check back, not just to vote, but to listen to another hour with me and David.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And read some PDFs.
We've referenced that podcast several times since we've done it.
Yes, I think sometimes we forget that we're the only ones who have heard it so far, and it's especially hard for me because as I'm working on the transcript, like in my head, it's very real. So some things will make sense once you do that.
All right. So, Jesse, you want to take us out?
Stay grammar.
Hooray! And
then do the countdown.
Yep. Everybody look at the worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds on my screen there.
Oh, and I saw myself counting down and say stay grammar, so we're good.
Yeah.